Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, a comment, wherever you get your podcast. I'm Anthony Totri, joined on this Monday evening by Shawn, DePaz, Shane Dieffenbach. Boys, it's time for the walk of shame. UCLA getting some payback on the Sun Devils tonight. Final score 66-52.
Yep. The biggest takeaway from a media standpoint is UCLA showed why they are UCLA and considered one of the top teams in the country to start the year. They're deep, and even when a guy like Juzang isn't having a great night, which he didn't have against ASU both times they played, they find other ways to win, and they did that tonight in a pretty easy way, even though it got a little close midway through second half. But nothing to really be super sad about in this game, I'd say.
No, I mean, if you you mentioned them being deep, like they also didn't have Tiger, and who was it? Clark showed up. Who didn't play in last game. He came out of nowhere, and balled in Tiger's absence. But
Yeesh.
I mean, if we had told you 3 weeks ago before the last UCLA game that they were competitive in both and won, I think anyone would have taken that. So
yeah.
I like you said, not too much you can be upset about, despite the fact that they did lose.
No.
I mean, something that I had just seen statistically that kind of jumped out at me, and we'll get into the numbers in a little bit, but like early in the game, or not even early, like start of the second half, free throw numbers, pretty similar.
Yeah.
Would you like to take a guess as to what they finished at?
Well, I have it right here.
4 attempts to 20 attempts.
Yeah. A lot of it came with what happens. Usually they put the other team in the bonus.
Yep.
The Gaffney fouling, I believe, Waquez on the three certainly doesn't help. I mean, Jules Bernard forced the issue. He was 7 for 7 from the free throw line tonight. And it just goes back to them being the better team. When they can't get an open shot, which was rare tonight, they'd look to get to the hoop. And I said this so many times. I've been saying this all year. Guys, why is it every single bucket ASU makes is just so difficult?
Yeah.
They just cannot get an open bucket. I mean, the run that put them back in the game, you had like a Marian skyhook from 10 feet. You had a couple threes that shouldn't have fallen. You had a crazy Jalen Graham tip in. Everything seems forced, and even when it goes in, it's just a product of what this team really is. But again, still, I believe playing their best basketball of the year.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And I think that's something that shouldn't get left out of this game is, again, UCLA is a top 25 team. Like, they are a good basketball team. Yes, ASU beat them the first time around, triple overtime, whatever. This is still, I think Bobby Hurley squad following today's game needs to still have that in the back of their mind that, yes, they took an L tonight. Yes, the win streak comes to an end, but overall, like, in reality, this game should have been a lot worse if it wasn't for ASU's defense. ASU's defense, especially in that second half, really locked up a lot of UCLA's top scorers.
Yeah, it's the thing we've been saying all year. This defense keeps them in games, and it wasn't any different tonight. I just wish that they could have given me a little less hope again.
Yeah, right.
I got really excited again, but it's good to get hope. It's good I'd rather be here than on watching
show.
Well, they have a draft pick to look forward to. ASU has a Pac-12 tournament to look forward to, which we'll be at. It'll be really fun. But this game didn't take any confidence away. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if ASU somehow ends up meeting UCLA in the Pac-12 tournament, I don't think that game is by any means like a foregone conclusion. Like they prove that the games against UCLA are competitive.
Yep.
Like I
neutral site too.
Yeah, obviously that's another thing we didn't even mention tonight. Like, is that could have easily been the difference. Is like that last game was obviously extremely close, and they played.
UCLA was rattled
in Tempe, they for sure. But I have obviously would much rather see UCLA than U of A.
Oh, yeah.
Or honestly, even USC at this point.
Would you rather see USC or UCLA?
I mean, obviously on paper, I would rather see USC, but ASU has proven that they can compete against UCLA. I guess they didn't have Tiger, but like
I think they match up better for me against UCLA.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Yeah, so that's what I'd have to go.
Yeah, it just depends on what UCLA does to finish the year, because UCLA is a team that can really gain confidence from having a couple of good games. We still haven't seen an ASU UCLA game where Juzang goes nuclear, which is what he can do and will do.
Yeah.
And I'm scared to see what would happen if that did.
Yeah, happen. That is a good point. But either way,
I feel like we're too sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said.
We've been through. I've been
You've
through.
definitely been
a UCR 70-foot buzzer beater.
But like
one of these shows,
I think what you mentioned, the fact that they gave us hope, like the fact that they made it a little interesting, and then they end up.
Hey, that spread though. I teased it up to 15. It was, I believe it opened. I text you guys at 14 and a half.
I think it closed at 14.
That's nuts.
It's Vegas. Joe in the chat says, I'll take USC over UCLA any day. UCLA has elite scores. Yeah, it's just the matchup thing that we're talking about. I mean, UCLA doesn't have a prototypical huge big guy. I mean, Cody Riley is really good, and he comes off the bench, but they don't have a dominant force inside like USC does. And God forbid Enoch and Alonzo Gaffney are going to stop a dominant force inside. We didn't really see that from Isaiah Mobley in those first two games.
No.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the thing.
Andrew Peterson scares me.
I feel like the biggest weakness for this ASU team. I mean, obviously there's a lot of them, but like when they're playing a team with a dominant big, the big ASU's bigs get in foul trouble, and then it's really hard for ASU to win.
Would you rather play like a Shaq or a really good 2-3 zone?
Dear God.
A really good 2-3 zone.
Option C.
Because fair, but like a really good 2-3 zone, if some of ASU shooters get hot, then they can beat a 2-3 zone. ASU cannot stop a Shaq.
Joe playing devil's advocate, no pun intended. No matter who we play, all of our bigs will be in foul trouble, so we might as well play teams with lesser guards. That's not a bad point. I think what he meant to say is the entire team will be in foul trouble.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at obviously U of A is the hardest team that ASU has to play against, and that's just what kills them is the bigs.
Yeah, they don't match up at all.
Yeah,
with U of A, and that's been proven. I mean, twice already this season, and God forbid a third time. I think it'll be just as bad as probably the second go round. We touched on the free throw numbers earlier. Let's get into the rest of the stats from tonight's game. So shooting wise, not too much discrepancies. ASU actually shooting better from the field than UCLA. The Bruins did have a better shot from behind the arc. Again, we've seen the rebound numbers, and this has been the storyline for ASU. I mean, since Shane was doing the show by himself, pretty much out rebounding ASU by 15. Assist numbers pretty similar. And then the turnovers, ASU leading that charge. But in the second half, ASU with only, I believe, 4 turnovers, which, I mean, considering they started off with 9.
We mentioned it during the game. They didn't have more than 1 turnover until like the 7-minute mark.
Yeah,
about the backcourt violation. I mean, but the thing with the field goal percentage numbers, you can shoot 60% from the field if you lose the rebounding battle by 15,
or give up 16 more free throw attempts.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the free throw attempts clearly were.
The rebounding was 37-30, not 22-37. So that's not as bad as it looks.
Yeah, fair, good point. 22 defensive rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds for ASU. But yeah, I mean, the free throw numbers, I think, is ultimately what made the difference in this situation.
Quite literally,
yeah. I mean, this was a classic like tale of two halves for ASU. Like the first half was not good, but gave you hope in the sense that it was really, really bad from ASU's perspective, but they still managed to keep it relatively close. So it's, I don't know. If
there were no free throws made in this game, ASU wins by 1 point.
Hey, there you go. But I mean, it's the free throws yet again are what brings down the Sun Devils, and it's unfortunate, but it just kind of is what it is. At least they're shooting well. Their offense has. I wouldn't say it was productive per se tonight, but it was consistently they were statistically efficient.
It was good to see DJ Horn pick it up in the second half, because it was getting scary a little bit. The man was in a bit of an S word, but he got out of it a little bit in that second half, so that's good.
Yeah, he had 0 points at halftime, and then just banged away 9 right off the rip. Felt like.
Yeah, phrasing, but yeah.
I mean, that's what happened against Oregon, right?
Dude, DJ Horn is the most second half player ever. Yeah. And ASU is a second half team now for some reason.
Yeah.
Which is just bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Last 4 games, it's been ridiculous, the stats.
Let's get to the most sus segment of the post game show, the ASU aftertaste, which I know is your guys' absolute favorite. Honestly, I don't really have like a.
How about we just do it normally?
Okay, what are you drinking tonight, Shane?
This game reminded me of a reverse Four Loko. Now let me explain.
Loco 4.
So when you're drinking a Four Loko, at least when we did in college, it's a tale of 2 halves. The first half, kind of tastes good, it's okay, and then once you get down toward the end of the Four Loko, you're like, I regret this. My tummy hurts. I'm not being brave about it. I feel like I'm going to throw up. But this was the reverse. Like, I felt like I was going to throw up in the first half, and then it started tasting a little good, and then I blacked out near the end.
Then I blacked out.
I don't even like. I'm gonna like a. I honestly don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of something that like.
Sean's like, this reminds me of art. I didn't like it at all.
No, because there was parts of it that I liked. It's like a rum and Coke, and I say that because I don't like rum. So I'm just like, I enjoy the Coke part. I didn't enjoy the rum part.
Okay,
like there's parts of it to enjoy, that's but it was just not like. It's not my favorite. It could have been significantly better.
One of our
interns,
it
wasn't the worst.
Benjamin speaking the truth. ASU getting all of their losses out of the way before the Pac-12 tournament. I love it. Speak it into existence. Lord knows I have been this entire year.
Literally every show. This is about the time. You want to say it one more time?
The resume doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Who really cares? I did think about that. I did have a little bit of a fever dream before this. No, that was real. You were here.
Yeah, no, you and I were talking about. Yeah,
we talked about this. Yeah, if ASU would have beat UCLA and then went on to win its last 4, they would have finished the season 15-15. They make a run in the Pac-12 tournament and maybe get past Oregon and UCLA and then lose to U of A in the tournament. You make a case for the first 4 out.
They're having a watch party at the very least.
Yep, because then they finish. What would that be? 18-16 with a bunch of quad 1 wins.
Hey, now,
but hey. That's why
that's in the past. That was a dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not the case right now. But I'm trying to think where I want to take the aftertaste tonight. I'm kind of with you on the Four Loko. I'm gonna almost piggyback off that. I'm gonna go with the Sidewalk Slammer.
See, Sidewalk Slammer is good because it sucks at the start. That's better than a Four Loko. That's not that is the reverse Four Loko because it does suck at the start. You hate it, but then you start getting drunk, and then you're like, "This is fine."
And then you black out.
Then you black out. That's the perfect drink. That is the perfect drink.
So
don't do that if you're listening or watching. It is a terrible mistake. Malt liquor and Four Loko. I don't know why I gave you the recipe to that, but don't do it.
He's like, "Don't do it," but if you do, this is how you do it. Yeah. My God. But hey, the one thing that I'm going to take out of tonight's game on a positive note is they covered for me. I got him. I teased him out.
Classic Totri, making plus it 15, all about himself.
Plus 15. Cue ad read. Hughes fans. The latest offer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Too good to pass up. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. Now, if you're not a new customer, you can also do some same game parlays. We're still on when does NBA start up again?
Thursday or Wednesday? I know the Suns play on Thursday. They have a back-to-back Thursday and Friday, so maybe Wednesday.
Well, that'll be the first opportunity for new customers and old customers, degenerates of the group, to bet back on the NBA. Take advantage of this offer.
I'm DraftKings Sportsbook story really fast.
Let's hear it.
Last night, don't ask me why, but I was live betting Fordham University. I got them at plus 1.5, and I accidentally still had Washington State money line in my bet slip. So when I made the bet, they parlayed. Fordham covered that plus 1.5 with 1:30 to go. They were down by 1, and I got them at plus 1.5. They ended up winning outright. So I could have cashed out, but it was for less than I would have won on just a straight Fordham bet because you still had Washington State that needed to win. The cash out was up to like $100. instead of like $200, whatever, at halftime of the Washington State game. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to hedge. So I'll at least get my return back, but I have a chance of winning the $200. My dumbass hedged with USC -2.5. USC won by 2.
Oh,
yeah.
Horror stories.
I got the text from Shane. This one is going to hurt, and it did indeed hurt.
It did. Indeed.
That one really.
But
But
you know what?
it doesn't. Are you going to the same place?
Probably not.
Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne.
Yeah. Okay. Join me tomorrow on the PHNX Daily Bet Show at noon for that story.
Every day, Monday through Friday at noon.
But where I was going was, it was still fun, and that's what the DraftKings Sportsbook app. No, this is the right one. It was still fun, and that's what the DraftKings Sportsbook app does. It adds more fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun right now because the Baylor Bears just beat the Oklahoma State Cowboys to finish a very spicy parlay. So again, if you want to win money like me and not have some unfortunate hedged bets like Shane, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, download it, use promo code PHNX. Again, bet just $1 on any NBA team, get $150 in free bets if they win. Promo code PHNX at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. A minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. I always have trouble with that, guys.
Yeah, you sounded like Rihanna there for a second.
Really? You thought I sounded that good?
Shawn knows what
Well, we might as well just go straight to the lyric of the game.
Yeah, somehow we always segue the DraftKings read with singing, and I don't mean to do it. Tonight's lyric of the game comes from Rod Wave. Hold
on.
What?
I used this earlier in the year.
You did?
Yeah, it was the show that you weren't here, and I did lyric of the game.
Well, then sing it for the people.
Heart been broke so many times, don't know what to believe.
Sorry, Shawn. I do remember you doing it.
Wait, can you do it now though, so like I can hear the comparison?
No, you're actually not allowed to have two singing.
Well, it's the same lyric.
I said it's my fault.
What if you did a harmony?
It's my fault.
Can you do it together?
On my sleeve.
There we go.
I feel like you are trying.
So I put my heart on nice.
I do want to apologize for that, but this is a fitting lyric for
it. Is.
Yeah. Just because back down to earth, kind of expected, but.
What game was it that you weren't here that I used that for?
The USC game.
Yes.
On New Year's Eve, the 30th of December.
No.
It was because Totri was here.
It was me and him.
Oh, then I don't know.
It was like
you were at the Open.
No, you were in Mobile Life.
Okay, we'll talk about this.
Yeah,
later.
we'll figure it out.
But yes, that has been used before. But it is pretty accurate because I mean they cut it to 4. They cut it to 4 off of what Marion Jackson had 3 turnovers. He forced 3 turnovers on 3 straight UCLA possessions or something crazy like that.
3 straight possessions, 3 turnovers forced by Marion.
Let's talk about that real quick before we get into bottle service. Like Marion Jackson started off a little cold tonight, but like I feel like he picked it up defensively so well, and he just got like that twitch to him. Like is that how you see him all the time? Like with that twinkle in your eye?
He hit a 3 in the first like 5 minutes of the game. Didn't hit one the rest of the game.
Classic.
That sucks. But then he went cold. But yeah, the quick twitch. He's just always moving on defense, and he's always finding the open shooter. And again, the hockey assist numbers don't show on the stat sheet, but he had like 10 of them, I swear, tonight. The man just makes this offense better when he's taking it to the hoop. I feel like he didn't do that enough tonight. I do wish sometimes he wouldn't just put his head down when he goes to the basket and he would look to dish a little more. But still, it's a better option than most of what ASU's offense is doing.
Yeah. I mean, Shane basically summed it up there. It's just I feel like that's the one consistent thing that you see all like every game is Marion's court vision. Like that. Yeah. His shooting may be streaky, but that never goes anywhere. And
then Carrie says in the chat, got it within 1. They did get it within 1 at one point. With under like 7 minutes to go.
And then they came back and hit a 3, right? UCLA.
Yeah. But they did get it within 1.
That's pain. That's pain, guys. Do you feel like the loss sucks more, or like I feel like the show like we're a little bit more upset because we just like the last few games have been wins?
Yeah, no, for sure. We're pampered.
If we were earlier in the year, if this was before,
we would be electric.
If this had happened in the first UCLA game, I think we'd be like, "Holy shit, we almost beat UCLA."
Yeah.
So,
well, I think if this happens in December or November when you guys weren't here to feel my pain, I would have been ecstatic. I would have been losing my shit.
They lost by 14.
Yeah, they're back.
They're back. They're back like they never left.
Yeah, that's side tripping with Carrie has the age-old question. How would this be different if Marvin Bagley was here? Or Marvin Bagley.
Marcus.
I said Marvin, but
who?
Oh,
Whom?
Who are you talking about?
who shall not be named?
Voldemort of ASU basketball.
Well, no, that's Voldemort of ASU. Of ASU basketball. Okay,
Yeah.
I was thinking certain quarterback, but
And I wasn't saying who to be rude. Like who cares about him? I'm saying like we haven't seen him and I miss him because he's really good. But I do hope.
Is this game different with him on the court?
Every game's
okay, but like
literally every
14 points different for ASU.
But they cut it within one. Like it was a typical ASU implosion at the end of the game. Like 14 does not tell the story of the second half. They cut it within one, and then even when it was 9, they still had a chance to fight back, and then everything just went to shit.
Yeah.
Bagley plays this game. It's closer. Bagley, people forget Bagley doesn't just add scoring. Like he's a big body, 6'8". Like dude does everything.
Yeah, Enoch does not get as many minutes.
Enoch leads the Pac-12 in most times grabbed.
Most times grabbed?
Most times grabbing a rebound and losing it. Most hands on a rebound without actually gathering the rebound.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's a classic big man conundrum.
And it's a classic true freshman thing.
Yeah, that's also true.
Jemiah Neal and him both had a couple big mistakes tonight. I was bitching about one of them, but it ended up not mattering. Jemiah Neal pressing full court after an 8-0 run by ASU and letting Juzang drive, defense collapse, kick out. I think it was Jules Bernard that hit a 3, and that just kind of sucked everything out.
Wide open.
Just got to be smarter than that. But again, Jemiah always trying to do his best to help, always trying his hardest. So I do like to see that.
Well, we talked about Marion. We talked about DJ Horn a little bit, especially in the second half. Let's get to bottle service because I know we all had kind of different answers. We finally agreed on a final one.
Yeah.
Who's getting it tonight?
The player of the game tonight has to be. It was tough. I picked
tried hard.
Yeah, I picked Luther. 8 points, 2 rebounds, but tried his damned best.
He's always trying his hard. He juked himself out earlier.
He did. Yeah, he did dribble.
Yeah,
just straight up crossed himself.
I mean, he's another guy that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He's always moving on defense, hands, active feet. He was good. Joe in the chat says Kamani. Yes, Kamani looked like himself for a little bit, but then he tailed off again. I need more Kamani.
I need a full game.
I need more Kamani offensive rebounds. He was the best player on the court without a question for the first 2 months of the season. And then I don't know if it's scheming or game planning, but it's just kind of gone away.
I feel like there's no reason that Kamani Lawrence, with his experience here, with his size, his time under Hurley, there's no reason that Kamani should not be a 10-10 guy every night.
Well, it's the team. I mean, he's playing with completely new set of guys. Remember, he's one of the only 2 players that actually stuck around for another year. Like no one else. This is a completely new team, so it's expected for ebbs and flows and weird things with him.
But at this point in the season?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think they're changing things around. Like they changed the starting lineup for the first time in a very long time.
No Magus, though, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I like Luther is 8 points from Luther is a nice contribution offensively. Like that's something you don't get every game. Had 2 straight games with less than 2 points.
This is something I wondered. Joe says in the chat, remember when Kamani used to shoot threes reasonably well? What happened? Something is going on because he also is one of the worst free throw shooters in the history of NCAA basketball now.
It's pretty ugly.
And it's strange. He's got like a hitch. So I don't know if it's all in his head. I don't know if he's dealing with something, but it's strange. Basketball's so mental, man. It's so mental. Like you really just don't know.
I mean, look at Mario. Look at what Mario went through.
Yeah,
for a majority.
And what DJ Horn is currently going through. Because we've seen them all do it. It's like they're all very capable Division I basketball players.
Yeah,
who have provided for this team at one point or another. It's just they're all in their own rut, and I think you saw against Oregon State, Washington State, what this team can be when they are all on a similar page mentally. And that's what I think is most frustrating.
I will say, regardless of what happens, even if they get bounced in the first round by a Washington, this has been some of the most fun I've had covering a team. This team, even when it's at its lowest of lows, it's so low that it's kind of entertaining. And when it's at its highs, it's how the hell did they go from this to that? The Washington State and then Oregon games.
Is it the hope? Do you think that is that what makes it fun?
They haven't provided reason for hope until now.
No, but it feels like they're in every game almost.
Now it does. Now it does. Yeah.
Yeah, we have Totri and I have the privilege of not having to have.
Yeah, we got in here in January.
I've lived through the first 2 months of this, 3 months of this.
Because season. I'm looking back at all the games, right? Let's just take the last February, for example. They started off with the UCLA the USC game. That was a 5-point loss to number 16 USC. They were in that game. They had the triple overtime win over UCLA. Obviously, they won that game or were in it. The first time they played U of A, played arguably their best first half of the season, and were in that game. Now, the Washington game, they got their ass kicked from start to finish. The Washington State game, they ended up winning. Oregon, they win by 20 plus. Oregon State, they win by 20 plus. They were in this game. They had cut it to 1. So, like, in every game this month, except the Washington game, there's reason to believe that they had a chance to win.
Yeah.
Is that, like, that's what I'm saying, I feel like, is why it's fun to cover this team, despite them being, 10-16 now?
Yep. I mean, they cut it to 1 with 8 to go against UCLA at Pauley.
Yeah. And I feel like just the guys themselves are people you want to root for.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Especially Marian, I think is because I was much harder on him than Shane was when I first got here. But like, it's a guy that has scored in the past, and you want to see him play well. And then obviously, like the guys that are returning, you want to see play well. And you want to see Bobby succeed. I mean, it's hard. I feel like
he's a likable guy.
So. The team is fun, and especially when they're not doing well, the moments that they do well makes it like finally you feel good for them.
You feel like a proud father.
You know who also a likable guy? Mike Luke. But I just had to get on my Twitter fingers going a little bit because his ass just came at me again. He's asking for the ASU score, and somebody responded this final score with UCLA over the trash, and he said, "Who would have thought?" So I just had to respond. They cut it to 8, or they cut it to 1 with 8 minutes to go. I don't want to hear it.
Did U of A lose to UCLA this season? So U of A and ASU both have split the season series. Interesting, Mike Luke. Interesting. If you were that much better than ASU, maybe you would have beat UCLA twice.
Hey, Shawn, they are that much better.
We'll see you in the Pac-12 tournament finals.
Oh yeah, when we're in Vegas with Mike Luke, like I feel like we're gonna have to keep you on a leash from him.
Oh no, I'm the most friendly dog.
Yeah, they're sharing a room. Like
I'm a friendly dog. I don't bark. I bark.
Wait, what?
Swedish dog? You've never seen that meme? What does a Swedish dog say? Bjark, bjark.
But if somehow U of A and ASU meet in the Pac-12 tournament,
we gotta stop dreaming, man.
Well, I mean,
whoa!
I'm joking.
I'm not
Who
saying
are you?
I'm
What have you done?
I'm not saying it's going to be in the finals, but like if they do,
it will be fun, and we'll bring you great content.
Great content
at GoPHNX.com.
And if ASU somehow beats U of A, you will get to see Mike Luke cry. Maybe do we make Mike Luke cry? Please don't come for me like you come for Shane, Mike Luke, if you're watching this.
Well, Shane queued it up perfectly with the PHNX ad read. There's some.
See, how are you going to do that? How am I going to toss you a lob and you're just going to catch it and walk the other way?
You're going to Enoch.
I did
Enoch it.
Throw up a 40-footer.
Just let it go straight through your hands.
I'm like, give you a seamless transition. You're like, read, engage.
You know what? You do it.
GoPHNX.com. Not only is there great content from everybody here with Totri stories, David stories for ASU baseball, and also Mike Luke writes some stuff for the Stinkers down south. You also got Gerald's articles for the Suns and everyone around PHNX. Great stories. The podcasts are available on there, and not to mention the PHNXlocker.com, where you can get a bunch of merch. You can get the stickers that are on Shawn's laptop currently, and you just become part of a family. You can join the members-only Discord, where we were talking to Josh Hunt tonight in the chat, who scared me very much when he just messaged in the Discord saying, "What happened? I just started watching the game and it was 6:30," and I was like, "Wait, what?" But he was watching the replay on Pac-12 Network, so you gotta love that. But always fun stuff going around in the Discord, and it makes watching sports and being part of this family that is Arizona sports more fun. So go ahead and go to GoPHNX.com. You can get your first month for just 50 cents, or you can get an annual membership for just under $60. You also get a free t-shirt if you do that. We got great merch dropping all the time, like the Point God shirt, as I said, stickers, and hopefully a new ASU shirt coming soon. So yeah, become part of the family.
You sound so sad tonight.
I'm not. Was that sad?
Did you sound a little sad?
Soft spoken maybe, but not sad.
Emma, what do you think?
More just disappointed that Totri can't catch a lob and throw it down like I can.
Listen, I did my own impression of Enoch, like Shawn said. Before we get into our fun segment of the evening, ASU, Colorado, Thursday, early thoughts.
Scared, terrified. Evan Batty, big boy. Alonzo Gaffney, stick bug.
I mean,
but they are just outmatched in terms of strength down there. And KJ Edwards, the freshman, has been playing really well. This team's just playing really well, this Colorado team. So after a loss, definitely an opportunity to bounce back. But what we saw in the first Colorado meeting was discouraging, to say the least.
And this one's in Colorado.
This one is in Colorado.
Yeah, 18-point loss doesn't give you a lot of reason to be encouraged. But this, I mean, we say it over and over again. This is a different ASU team,
100%
than that point in the season.
And Colorado is a team that kind of does what ASU does, where they just fall off a cliff for a couple games. Like they got absolutely killed by Washington State by like 30 points, which does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not super worried. I'm just from a matchup standpoint on paper, it's not the best matchup.
I feel like you might have an opinion about this comment. Side tripping with Carrie asked why we don't see Olmstead get more minutes when the bigs are in foul trouble.
I refuse to answer. I'm sorry, but respectfully, no, thank you.
You don't like him?
I would rather put you out there.
At the 5, at the 4,
at the 5,
at the 5.
No, wow. Olmstead is serviceable at times. In all seriousness, he is, but serviceable isn't what's going to win this ASU team games. I mean, I know Enoch hasn't been playing great, but Enoch has that upside.
Yeah, he is.
Olmstead just simply doesn't. He's not as tall. He's not as athletic.
Yeah.
I just that. Yeah.
Those are your thoughts on it?
Those are my thoughts.
Well, ASU, in terms of not just basketball, but football, and there's some other sports that could use some serious help across the board. Today, in honor of President's Day, we are going to not really draft, but you are going to assign a president that you think could help an ASU sport the most, and why?
Shawn, you go first.
All right.
Obviously, wait. Let me just get this out of the way. Abe Lincoln, not an answer. Yes, he's tall, but it's too easy.
First off, easy. I'm triggered.
Go ahead.
I'm triggered because we discussed this beforehand, and I said that my answer was Abe Lincoln. Now he just decides to spring on me that Abe Lincoln's not Abe Lincoln. But here's why: not only is he tall, two-sport athlete. Okay, he can come in, provide much needed size for the basketball team, and then turn around and he was a great wrestler back in his day. ASU has an amazing wrestling program.
How tall was Abe Lincoln?
6'4".
Really?
Yeah,
big boy.
So he was. How many 6'4" people were there?
Yeah,
in the 16th
that's 6'4"
century?
back in the day. In the what century?
Well, no. Okay, so hear me out. It said 16th president, and I thought it said 16th century.
But
just
give me Mr. Taft down low. Just a body to get foul trouble. Taft is the president, got stuck in the tub.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he might be more effective on like the offensive defensive line.
No. You got to be agile.
Yeah, you don't have the
I'm just saying to soak up fouls for this ASU basketball team.
Interesting.
That's where you're going with this?
Go ahead.
I just feel like we're going all basketball here.
I just mentioned wrestling.
Yeah. You don't listen to Shawn.
Yeah.
I do.
I just mentioned wrestling and football.
Leah, do not come at me for the president just BS, okay? How am I supposed to? This was so long ago.
I love how not knowing time and how years work is bullshit.
Listen, it is, okay? It's a common I misread. That's all it was. Fine.
What's your answer?
I don't know. I'm not huge on. Yeah, I'm gonna go Barack for basketball.
Oh, we're only going basketball here.
All right, let me. I'll switch it up.
I hate you all.
I'll switch it up. Great elbow J lefty, love it. Give me the 26th president, Mr. Theodore Roosevelt, as the head coach of ASU's football team.
Oh, you're canning Herm.
Oh yeah.
Give me.
I mean, if Teddy Roosevelt rose from the dead and wanted to coach at ASU, you wouldn't can Herm. Probably not. He probably doesn't have.
Herm.
Literally, football wasn't a thing. So,
oh yeah, you want to get into time?
1858. Yeah,
there was football, soccer.
That was. I mean, there was rugby.
He died in 1919.
He would have seen football.
I would have assumed that he didn't have the most extensive knowledge. I don't think he knows what an air raid offense is. That's all I'm saying. Well, okay, never mind. Next.
Oh god. Okay, so we've assigned the best. I kind of want to get into the worst. Like, where's Biden playing? What's Trump doing? Like, where are these guys lining up?
I feel like George Washington would be god awful at basketball. Because I feel like he was a big boy, but he's stiff.
Bro, literally none of these presidents we're talking about would be good at basketball.
Valid.
Barack is.
Okay, but I'm talking about the old.
And also, Barack is good at basketball for a United States president.
Yeah,
like that's fair.
I feel like Richard Nixon would be a really bad coach because he probably would violate recruiting restrictions or recruiting rules and end up having to resign and then get a job in the NFL.
Okay. All right.
Dear God.
JFK. It's a good one.
What's he doing? Quarterback?
Just reading a comment.
No. I'm saying is he.
JFK has a quarterback personality.
Yeah.
Big time quarterback personality. But
he'd be a good special teams coach.
Oh, I feel like you're underselling what JFK.
Guys, these guys have no knowledge of football. I'm sorry.
But what if they did?
JFK would have knowledge of football.
Well, yeah, some, but again, it's like qualifications about if we're saying they do and they're just master motivators, and yeah, head coach, anything, quarterback, sure, but he doesn't have an arm. We don't.
How do you know that?
Because he was a president. He didn't.
George Bush kicked away 80-mile-per-hour fastball. You don't know what these guys were up to when they were young?
I only know them now because they're old.
I'm sorry. I'm just assuming that JFK did not have an accurate deep ball. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. First off, you're talking about an all-American boy.
Yes, this is the one I was waiting for. Gerald Ford.
Oh, but none of these presidents would be athletic.
That's literally not what I said.
You're also underestimating the fact that these presidents grew up at a time when like baseball was like the thing. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these presidents probably grew up playing baseball. Okay. Which means they probably got cannons.
He's getting ready to come at you for something.
Say baseball. Then just say the sport you're talking about.
But I'm saying if they have cannons, it's not unreasonable to think that it might translate to football with a little bit of training.
You know, I actually have a rebuttal. I think it is unreasonable.
Why?
I've said it. I just did.
Because they didn't have the knowledge?
No, it's not the same thing throwing a ball hard as throwing a ball accurate. And a small ball, big ball.
Well, no, but
guys coming at you.
But I'm saying like there's a long tradition of baseball and football, like baseball players. Tom Brady, Jameis Winston, Michael Vick, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. Like so, there's a long lineage of baseball players.
JFK
also
doesn't run a 4.3. I can say that right now.
More of an option quarterback, according to Side Trip with Gary.
Okay, sure. I disagree, and I'm not moving that.
Eisenhower. That was another thing. A lot of these Eisenhower.
Oh yeah, West Point.
The military guys. Yeah, I never thought about that. I mean, Reagan was a actor. Maybe he played sports. I don't know why those two things.
Well, maybe he can draw fouls. Maybe he can draw fouls.
True. No, but now he's getting flop warnings. Ronald Reagan.
Okay, can I just say probably the best motion in all of sports?
My favorite is what are you doing?
Yeah, no, my favorite is when somebody like flops and tries to take a charge and the ref stands over them and goes, like, boy,
what are you doing? They need that in the NBA. Could you imagine LeBron, just a ref, just
oh God. Well, that I think does it on the
he says, I hear what you're saying.
A little bit.
Remember what I said? I brought something up and I said, I'm going to save it for the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Long has been the debate of the sexiest man on the PHNX Sun Devils podcast.
This is becoming a thing now.
So all the last 2 weeks has just been hearsay. Ooh, sexy as always. My name's Totri. I'm Shane. Nothing that really matters. I have concrete evidence today that supports it. My TikTok out of us three has the highest views. That means I'm the sexiest. Goodbye.
No, that's definitely not how that works.
He said goodbye, snap, as if Emma was just going to end the stream right there.
That's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to end this point. That's
not true.
We need to actually can we take this to social?
No.
Can we just look at the three men on the screen? I'm the best dressed and the best looking. They have nothing to say back because they know it's
speak fallacy. That's just incorrect.
Bro, are you giving a presidential speech?
Yes.
I speak fallacy.
That's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Okay, definitely the best draft.
You have known that you have the worst takes on the show. The most controversial takes on the show.
He just came out your neck.
It's like, hey, I look pretty. Oh, well, you're bad at your job.
No.
What do you mean? That's what you just said. It's like, the show where you give opinions? Well, yours are stupid.
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter at Shane Deef.
You can follow me at Shawn_DePaz. Sexy, depending on who you ask, apparently. You can follow Anthony Totri at
big
Anthony,
old stinker. You can follow the show at
PHNX_Totri.
You can follow the show at PHNX_Sun Devils. Anything else?
Get us out of here.
You have good. I want to clarify. The most controversial takes, I would say.
We're just referring to one argument about art.
Yeah.
Peace. We're still here.
We're sexy as always, baby. I'm still sexy.
And